in the car, she would get their phone numbers.
Right.
But she would drive by schools.
Right. So
as they got out.
So would she? Yeah. And what's Ivana doing at this point? What are they
sitting in the car? And I'll never forget, because they went one day. I was really weirded out by what had happened. I was really weirded out. I was weirded out when they were driving around with this. So Ghislaine just shut me up, gave me one of those cheap bracelets Ivana was selling on QVC, and said, Ivana wants you to have this. And I threw it in the garbage.
It was like, hey, man, I got a pageant down here. I'm hosting these women at the house, okay, up in Palm Beach. They send some cars to pick us up. We get in the cars. We drive up there. Me, Mike, Eddie Murphy, we all in our own individual cars. Car service drove us up there. We got there. He showed us around the house, told us about this mansion and the history behind it and all that. Just the golf course. It was dark. We couldn't see the golf course and things like that. And then before you know it, hey, man, y'all enjoy yourself. We got cocktails and everything. And before you know it, the rooms and everything start popping. There wasn't no DJ. It was more of, hey, get in where you fit in. Whatever room you're going to go in, you go into that room.
So you say no DJ. There was no music? Or the music was piped in?
No, there wasn't no music.
No music.
That was the interesting part about it. There wasn't no music.
So women just naked in rooms with no music?
Hey, people walking around. It wasn't, listen, it wasn't nothing wrong with that. I was happy to be at that party, but then at the end of the day, when I started looking at some of these girls' faces, I was like, man, these girls don't look like they're old enough. I didn't ask nobody their age. And then all the other stuff going on, it was like, okay, I can't be up there. I got to go.
One of the things that's been sort of nagging is that there was a point, and this was kind of like the very end for me when I stopped dating Jeffrey, when he looked at me and said, I have, video of you undressing in a bedroom in the brownstone. And it was something along the lines of, it's the most beautiful thing I own, or it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And that just, that was when there were, being groped, being led into Donald's office to be groped by him was bad enough. And I probably was young enough and confused enough where maybe I was still questioning. But when he said to me, I have video of you undressed in a bedroom in my house, and it was so creepy and so dark. And so, I've wondered ever since, where is that video? Was he lying? Does it exist?
In the course of one of these discussions about Trump, he left the room and then came back holding in his hands about a dozen Polaroid snapshots.
Oh, they're Polaroids. They're Polaroids.
Well, in my mind, they're Polaroid. I'm not 100% sure that they were, but they had those crenellated edges like a Polaroid. That's in my mind, these are Polaroids, but they certainly are snapshots. And then he kind of like a deck of cards, kind of displayed them on the table. And there were specifically three that I remember, and this is now almost 10 years ago. So, but the three that I remember are two in which topless young women, and I don't know the ages of these women, but they are young, are sitting in Trump's lap. And this is outside Jeffrey Epstein's house in Palm Beach, around the swimming pool.
Okay, and is Trump dressed? Is he what?
Trump is dressed, and and in mind's eye, it's kind of golfy,
Right, golf leisure wear
attire. But and then in the third picture, there is, and so he's wearing light pants. There is or tannish pants, and there's a stain on the front of his trousers, and the girls, 3, 4, 4 or 5, as I remember, are pointing at the stain and laughing.